together.
It's not a picture. Interview her real quick. She got like 2 minutes. Ask her a couple questions for Rise.
So, anyway, it's a wonderful thing. We just came from the presentation 2013. I had flashbacks. I had an opportunity to be standing there. I was just living vicariously through you. Did that a couple of years ago in Orlando. Never as fabulously as you did. Really appreciate the presentation. So, tell us, how did you feel?
I feel fantastic.
Yes.
I am on cloud 19 right now.
All right. What do you hope to have really achieved, and what do you hope to achieve when you do make your presentations? I know you mentioned a little bit about it, but tell our audience, please.
What I hope to achieve when it comes to my presentations is that someone just becomes open-minded. Those who thought something about HIV and now they think differently in a positive light, that's the only thing I'm achieving. And those who are living with HIV, it's not over. That's just the message. It's not over. It doesn't matter what you're living with. If it's HIV, diabetes, cancer, it's not over. And you still have a chance to spread the word and spread some knowledge. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the powerful refrain that you use is, "This is what HIV looks like." So, if you didn't know, now you know. Right? Well, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your service. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Got your back.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Stephanie, and it's time to rise. And please, please just don't leave me. Her question was, "You pregnant?" Which is a little excitement behind her voice. I said no. But my results from my HIV test came back positive. I had great insurance at the time. So me and my mother, we were sent up to Walter Reed in Washington, D.C., where I had 3 long days of appointments that consisted of HIV education and counseling. After my appointments, I went back home to Fayetteville, North Carolina. I didn't know anyone else that was positive. I entered into my sophomore year of college, and school became my outlet. After 3 years of battling depression, I still was not comfortable with myself. The stigma I had against myself was intense. I was sick, and I felt like a prisoner. And I hated that feeling of not being free from other people's judgments. I knew that I wanted to give back to my community, but I wasn't trying to be all at first. I developed a support system with my mother and my closest friends, but I was paranoid. Paranoid at the fact that if I told one person, then I told everybody. I didn't want to keep my life, nor my situation, a secret anymore. In May of 2009, I joined forces with a nonprofit organization that helped me to share my story about being positive, so that I could educate others. I shared my story in the jail, churches, and in local events. The first thing I noticed when I started sharing my story about being positive was how little people knew about HIV and AIDS. Fayetteville, it was obvious to me that Fayetteville did not talk about HIV at all, period. Sometimes I had people who supported me, then I had some people who really did not support me. I would go inside of the jail sometime, and I would walk by the inmates. And I would hear things such as, "Yo, that's that bitch that has AIDS." I took that discrimination, and I had to be understanding. And I understood that that was the next person I had to educate. Funny story. Funny story. I'm pumping my gas one day, and the guy comes around in his car, saying he saw me from down the street. He just had to get to know who I was. And, so I'm pumping my gas, and he's talking, and he asked me what my name was, and he's still sitting in his car. And I said, "My name is Stephanie." And why in the world are you still sitting in your car if you're trying to talk to me? Rudeness. And so he starts laughing about it, and he finally gets out of his car. And then his next question was, what do you do for a living? I'm an HIV health educator. Told me his aunt did the same thing up in Chicago, whatnot, and blah, blah, blah. And then his next question was, so you good, right? You're okay, right? I'm thinking, here we go. I said, no, I was diagnosed at 19. Immediately, he just started rubbing the back of his neck. He was starting to have second thoughts. And his next comment was, you don't look like it. I said, what is it supposed to look like? This is what it looks like. As he started walking to his car, I told him to go ahead and just Google me. He Googled me. And the beautiful thing about all of that is that he found me on Facebook. He wrote me on Facebook and he said, please forgive me for the way I reacted. I was just surprised and shocked at how honest you were. The fact that I was that open about something that's so secretive in society blew him away. Like literally, he walked away. In May of 2009, I stopped working with the nonprofit, but the request for me to keep speaking just kept coming. Whether they were paid or unpaid, I went. In May of 2000, thank you. In May of 2000, late summer 2012, I came across a post from MTV on Facebook, and they were having casting calls for individuals who were HIV positive who wanted to share their story in the documentary. Thinking it's pretty cool. I sent in the email, I got a reply back that night. I told myself I was not going to believe any of it until I saw it. And sure enough, I see 10 people standing at my one-bedroom apartment with lights and cameras, and I said, I believe it. The rest is a complete blur. The documentary then led to an invite to speak at the White House on a panel. The panel was hosted by Rosie Perez. And just to be able to be in that room with so many people who have been in the field for years, leaders in this field, was an incredible feeling. The same way I feel right now today with you all. A member from Kaiser Family Foundation walked up to me and she asked, would you like to be a part of our new campaign called Empowered with Greater Than AIDS? Empowered is about bringing back the dialogue of HIV among women. And the rumor was that Alicia Keys may be a part of the campaign. I'm thinking, heck yeah! At that moment, I was feeling empowered. Who would pass up the chance of being a part of something that could save the lives of millions of women? The impact of our voices, all of the women's voices in this campaign, can and will bring people to this major movement. I started speaking up because the silence was killing me, not the virus. I started speaking publicly so that I could save myself and to educate others. Being open about my status is a powerful education tool, and it keeps me relatable. Being open about my status helps me to be honest with myself. It helps me to stay accountable for my doctor's appointments, and it keeps me online and keeps me on my toes. I can't be a hypocrite in this fight. I am a strong, confident, empowered woman with a serious mission in life. way possible so that the next person does not get infected, and so that those who are HIV positive can have proof that you can live a long, healthy, productive life. With each person who becomes more tolerant, more open, and less ignorant, we create a world where people who are HIV positive can live in their new skin in this new world that they're in. Because that's exactly what being positive is like. It's a brand new skin, it's a brand new world, it's scary, and things are unreal. Not everyone will have the same experience that I've had if they share their status, and not everyone can. But it is our job as activists and advocates to build a world where it is safe. Safe for people to get tested and to get into care. Safe for people who are positive to reach out for the support they need. And safe for everyone to live life openly and honestly. Woo! Do I want to be positive? Heck no, of course not. But I am stronger and more confident than ever imaginable. And this journey has taught me a great deal about my own strength and my passion to end the AIDS crisis. Now when I see discrimination, when I see ignorance, when I see someone who's just in denial about what HIV is or who gets it or even what it looks like,